guys. So look at that. This is the one we have in our local. Wow, look at this. So it started to upload the directory. So we have all the states. So let's go to, let's say, Victoria. So these are all the cities in Victoria. Hello guys, so we are going to start creating our new directory, which is public toilets here in Australia. As you can see, we already grabbed our data using GFast Tracker. So GFast Tracker is similar to Outscraper. The difference is it's faster and it's way cheaper and way faster than Outscraper. You can get the data even though it's 10,000 business listings in minutes. In Outscraper, if you're gonna scrape 10,000 business listing, you will need to wait at least 3 to 4 hours and come back to get the data. But here, if you want to get it quick and cheap, you can use this alternative one, GFast Tracker. So you can basically create the data by adding your business categories here. You need to take a look at Google Maps to select your category, and then you can add how many business listing you want to grab. And suppose you want to consume 500 business listings today or 500 credits, and then tomorrow want to again come back and get another 500. You can do that by using the offset token, which you will get once you scrape your first data right here. That is a really good feature because you won't be grabbing the same listing again that you already grabbed in the previous scrape. So that's one advantage of using GFast Tracker. Now, going back to our topic right here, we will create the custom theme as fast as we can. So I am hoping in 10 minutes, we will be able to deploy the directory. Hopefully that's not too ambitious, but we already prepared our prompt right here. So this is the comprehensive prompt that we will need to vote using Climb, and we will use the AI code model, which is the Gemini 2.5 Pro or Claude Sonnet 3.7, depends when will give us good layout or design. But I prefer to use Claude Sonnet 3.7 now so that we will have better result. And make sure you have credits here in Open Router. As you can see, we have 11.8. So by the end of creating our directory, we will see how much we spent using Claude 3.7. Pretty expensive model, not that expensive, but compared to the other one like Gemini 2.5 Flash, which is really cheap. But 3.7, you can use that when starting the base of your directory so that the outcome will be nicer and less error. So without further ado, let's go ahead. Now, as you can see right here, we already purchased the domain name toiletsaustralia.com, australia.com, and we have the WordPress ready. So whenever we complete our some theme, we will migrate that to our actual domain, our actual server here, so that it will be accessible online. Now the coding will be in our local, so we will install this called local WP. So you can just download this. So search on Google local WP. So this one right here, the local WP. So just search that on Google, and you will be able to download this application where you can create multiple WordPress in your local. So let's create a new one. So here we will name it Toilets Australia. Okay, so you can set the local site domain so that this will be the address when you access it in your local, in your browser. Let's continue. So just click on continue. And here, just set your base username and password. You can change that later. Let's click on add site. So just wait for a few seconds. It's installing and downloading the WordPress in our local. So it's configuring everything. All right, like our WordPress is ready. Now, let's go ahead and access this. Okay, go. So as you can see, we are able to access toiletsaustralia.local. So this is our local directory right here, our local WordPress, where we will install everything. We will run these prompts right here using VS Code and Climb. So you can immediately open VS Code by clicking this VS Code right here, and it will load all the files. So let's do that. And as you can see, this will be our WordPress website where we will create our custom theme for our directory. Now, let's check first data that we will use here in Outscraper. So we will download this public bathroom. We've got 7,800 listing that we will be adding in our public bathroom directory. So let's download this. Okay, so this is our beautiful data right here. As you can see, we've got almost 8,000 listings, so we will surely get a bunch of traffic here once we apply the correct method in creating this directory. So the very first step that you need to do once you have the data, so delete those unnecessary columns. So I don't think we will need this. We may need it in the future, but I'll delete this last scene and first scene, and I think everything else will be fine. We can include that in our custom fields. Now, the next thing that I want to do is create a custom builds using this ACF plugin, which we are going to perform everything in our local. And then later on, I will show you how you can easily deploy that to our actual domain. So we'll do that. So just keep watching, guys, because by the end of this video, you will have all the details, information that you need to launch your first directory in a very quick way. So first of all, we install the following theme. So this is optional. I don't want to install a theme because we will be creating our own custom theme using Claude 3.7, because as you know, 3.7 can really create a beautiful themes website for us, even for WordPress themes. So we will try that. So I'm going to install this plugin, the Ultimate CSV, and then the Advanced Custom Fields. So this is the first one that I will need, the Advanced Custom Fields. So let's sign in here in remember, we are using the local WordPress now. So let's sign in. Okay, so once you're here, let's go ahead and install the plugin that I mentioned, which is the Advanced Custom Field. So we will search it here. All right, so install this first result and then make sure you activate this. Now, once this activated, the next step that we will do is we will create the custom which we can grab from here. So this will become our custom field. So this column titles right here. So let's first check how we're going to do that. So here we will prompt Klein to do that. So if you are not familiar with Klein, so the way it works, you need to install this add-ons in your VS Code. So you will see this icon right here. So that is Klein. If you don't have that, you can gear to the extensions. So click these extensions and here you search Klein. And once you find it, just click on install. Since I already have that, so I don't need to install that. So you can come here and in the settings right here, make sure you select the correct model. So I'm gonna choose the 3.7 Sonnet. All right, so we're gonna use this to set up our directory. So as you can see, it's quite expensive and it only has 200,000 contacts. So I hope all this prompt that we will run right here will be accommodated by the 200,000 contacts. But so we will try to avoid as much errors as we can. So we save this and now we're ready to prompt our first command right here, which is the custom fields. But before that, guys, I'm sorry, because this is the first one that we should do after installing the Advanced Custom Field. So let me just put it in the correct order. So here, after creating ACF fields, create a custom post type and a custom taxonomy. Since we are going to have the same structure as our tattoo directory right here, so we will have the custom taxonomy, or it's like category when you are using post. And since we are Australia, so our main taxonomy will be state, and within each state will be the city right here. So one example is if you go to one state right here, so it will load all the city. So that will be the approach. And even if you check here, so we go to one state and you see these are all the list of cities. So same structure that we will do here. Now go to ACF right here, take this post types. All right, first we add our post type. So click the add post type, and in our instruction, as you can see, our post type will be public toilets. Okay, so we will write that here in the plural label. So you type public toilets, and in the singular we just remove the S, and this one will get generated based on what you added here. So the taxonomy, we leave it for now because we haven't created a custom taxonomy, which we will create now. So this will be the key, which is our post type. So save this, we will use that later. So make sure this post type is correct, custom post type. Now the custom taxonomy will be state. Here we're gonna click on taxonomy in the ACF and we click on add taxonomy, and here the same thing, but this one will be states. So singular will be without the S, and it will generate the taxonomy key. Now very important to select the post type, which is this one, the public toilet, and here make sure you enable this option right here. It's very important, you don't forget this. Make sure you enable that and save this. All right, our configuration in ACF is done. We will now create the custom fields we will need for ACF, which is right here. So this is done. All right, the next step will be this one, create ACF JSON sync file. So this is exactly what you need to type. What you just need to do is paste all the title right here, the column title, so that it will automatically create the ACF. So let's do that. I'm gonna copy all the column names and paste that right here. Okay, hopefully, since we are using Claude Sonnet 3.7, so it should be smart enough to understand what we need. So just make sure we do that. So paste that right there and make sure you mention my custom post type E is. So you copy the custom post type here and make sure you mention it right here. Okay, I'm gonna copy this and update our prompt right here so that we won't forget to mention it. So after you paste all the custom column names that you need to add, make sure you mention this. Okay, very important for the settings of our ACF JSON sync file. Now, guys, I'm sorry again, because before we run this, we need to have our base theme by using the child theme. So for example, you need to install Niv, then you will run this prompt. But as I mentioned earlier, we will be creating our own custom theme. So I'm gonna run this command. This is what we need to run first. I need to put this above order will be proper because this is the first time I'm running all this prompt right here. That's why you need to correctly order so that when you want to implement the same, it will be easy for you. Okay, I'm gonna run this first. Can you create custom theme, the basic file? So it will create the basic file. All right, so let's remove this and let's paste that and let's run this now. And guys, client using 3.7 Sonnet completed the request to create a base theme. It's too smart that it created all the things that we don't need for now. Anyway, we will see because it created all this. So we have the toilet Australia, and in the functions right here, it created some, I'm not sure if this is going to impact our other prompts, but anyway, let's check. So it created all the basic files. So that once all these are created, we go to appearance and go to themes. Now here, we activate the theme that 3.7 created for us. So now that it's activated, we're now ready to run this ACF field right here. Okay, copy this. So this will basically create the custom fields based on our column names right here. And it looks like we are already consuming more than 50% of the context. Once we're near in the 200,000, so we will just start a new task. So it will reset context window 0. But the only drawback of resetting to context window 0 is that it will forget the previous command that we execute. So it's better if we continuously running the context because at least we will have the session flow, or Claude 3.7 will remember what we are currently doing, but we don't have a choice. We will need to reset to the 0 context, but let's continue creating this custom fields right here. Okay, so our custom fields have been created. So if we check the file, so it created a folder right here, and this is the correct way to do that because I'm going to show you. So when you go to your dashboard in WordPress, when you go to ACF and take these field groups, you will notice there is the sync available. So that's what we want. Now that we have all the custom fields we need for this public toilet, we just click this import. So later, when we actually importing the data, we can correctly map this, all right? Now that's done. The next step is here. After this, we will now create all these basic templates right here. So I am going to now a new task because we ran out of context. That's almost 200,000 context. So we will have to create a new task here in Klein, but that's fine. So now this is the time where we are gonna prompt all this. Okay, one go. So here until this, so we will prompt everything. So we copy this now. Without further ado, let's pop this in here, and hopefully this will create all the necessary things we need for our directory. So let's do that now. Now this will take some time. While we are doing this, let's install the next plugin that we need. So go to plugin, click add new plugin, and here we're gonna search for Ultimate TSV. So you see this result right here. This is the one that we need by Snackholder. So install this and then activate this. All right. Now we are ready to import some data right here. Before we begin and before I forget in all this information right here, we will need to create a small version of this file so that we can try importing just to see the details being displayed correctly in our custom templates. Because if we import all this 7,000 right here, it will take at least 45 minutes to do that. So we will create a small version, maybe for 20 records. So before we do that, this is a very important step. You see guys here in the address region or states. So some of the name of this state will be shortened. So for example, this should be Victoria. So we don't want that because this will create two different category or taxonomy, but this is just one state. So here in your spreadsheet, enable this filter, and here make sure you click this ascending. So you will clearly see the name of the states in ascending order. So here, as you can see, ACT, this is a shortened version for Australian Capital Region, which I don't want. We want to have everything as full state name. And let's scroll down. So the next one is, so look at this. I have an idea that in Australia, there is this Jervis Bay Territory. I don't know about this, but anyway, we'll just have it as New South Wales because I'm sure it's not a state. So let's scroll down and see if there's any shortened state name. So there you go, there's NSW. So we copy the New South Wales and make sure all these W will be New South Wales. All right. And then we copy this Northern Territory. So there will be NT right here. This one, NT. So we will have the as full name, and QLD. This should be Queensland. All right. So copy this and fix the state name. So we should be cleaning our data so that our taxonomy will look correct. Now here for South Australia, this should be this full name. So we copy right here. We're almost done. So Vic should be Victoria, and this one, Western Australia, should be, this one, WA, is Western Australia, and here, TAS. Okay, that's all right. Looks clean now. We gave this. As I mentioned earlier, we will create a short version of this, maybe 20 listings, just to see if we can correctly display the data. So let's randomize the address or the title. So you can see right here, we've got some random states. So I'm gonna just copy and create a new spreadsheet. And let's copy first the column names. All right, and some data, maybe 20. All right, there you go. We have 25 data. I think this will be enough. Here, another important step. This is how you're going to import them so that it will properly create the taxonomy right here in the states. So let's go now and click this Ultimate CSV importer. And now let's browse our small version data. Out here, make sure you select the correct post type, which is this one, public toilet. All right, and click on continue. And here, so this one, you will have the WordPress core fields and you will have the ACF. This is the custom fields that we created. Now, we have to go to the drag and drop mode, all right? So the title will be, of course, the title of the toilet right here. And for content, I put the attributes right there and scroll down. The featured image, we will have the main image, all right? So suppose the featured image is available, so we can have it as a main image of our custom post type. Now, only these three I'm putting here in the WordPress custom fields. Most of them, like them, will come here in ACF fields. So we will just quickly map them. So here, guys, some of the fields won't be necessary if you feel that you want displayed it as part of your custom template. Only the important thing will be, of course, based on your directory. So here, we are creating for public toilet, so address will be important. And of course, the rating, maybe. But this is the website. So most of the time, we don't need to put website for the public toilet because I don't think there will be separate website for each toilet. Work time will be, of course, important. So just choose which one you think you will display in the future. But basically, so this will be modified later once you are adding elements or details in your contents. The main thing now is we structure it correctly. So this is how we're going to do that. So in the terms and taxonomy, so very important to have this done correctly. So that's why you need to watch this. So state will be, so IRN taxonomy will be the state, which is this one, the address info region, that's the state. So to add child taxonomies or children taxonomies, so you add comma, and then children will be the cities. So we don't just drag the city right here. So in order for the cities to go under the state, which is this region, again, we drag the region and we have hyphen and then the R going to the right, just like that. And now you drag the, all right, so now you're going to structure the custom taxonomy. All right, now I think this is done. So we will need to repeat this anyway in the actual domain. So let's continue this. And again, this is a very important setting. Download custom external images. So the featured image that we select in the featured image field will be downloaded locally here in media section. So it will load faster. Now import. So you see right here, it's starting to import the data. And while importing, we have to check if this is done. Okay, so it's done. It consumed 80,000 context. So let's see the summary right here. Yep. So hopefully it has all this information that we populate right here. We will see that. Okay. So move through. Let's go to the home page. So our import is complete for the 25 records. Let's go to the home page and you can see right here, this is what we requested, the basic one. We have toilet in Australia, so this is very easy to change. We will change that. This is the hero section of our homepage. And there you go. Wow, it got our main pie chart, the name of the states in a really nice display. And we have these guidelines and let's check. And it has got the number of toilets within the state. Let's check out Victoria. Oh, look at that. Really beautiful right here. We can remove this sidebar. We can ask Claude to do that as well. And here, this is the name of the toilet. So we have, it is the city, public toilets, lovely banks, okay? That's all. We have the featured image. Look at this, very beautiful. Click the actual listing. It got it in one prompt. Look at that. So ours closed now. So it detects that it's closed now. Wow. And it hasn't been displayed correctly. And we can click this view map. So as you can see, it opened to a Google map, which is what we need. This one hasn't been rendered. We can easily fix that. Okay, let's look with the working hours. Now I'll see if the working hours being rendered correctly. So let's go to South Australia, Adelaide. These are city names. Wow, beautiful. Look at this. It has got the icon for toilet right here. And let's see this. close now. Okay, hours. Now I want to have something with working hours because that's the important thing we have to display. Oh, there. Wow. Really beautiful. 24 hours, Monday, 24 hours. So this is how it displayed the working hours. So let's find some more. Okay, look at this. We have the beautiful display of the time here. The only thing is this is not displaying correctly. What we need to check is this drop down here because this should display the city. So these are all the main taxonomy. So if I select Tasmania, so it's not loading, let me ask Claude to fix that. So I just mentioned that the home page drop down is not working correctly. It's not showing the state based on the state that showing the city based on the state that we selected. So it's now trying to fix that. So while doing that, let's check how much we spent. So we started with 11.88. Oh, we're down with 9.27. Not too bad. Okay, so that's $3. All right, so okay, so then let's see if it's going to fix our issue right here. Refresh this, select a state. Okay, there you go. It's loading the city. It's fixed now. So select another state. Is it changing? News wheels. Yep, it's changing. That's great. But let me see if it's going to that particular city. So this one and find toilets. That is not working. So we will again ask. It's not going to the correct child taxonomy. So let's run this. So I want to see if it's properly, okay, public toilets in Northern Territory. That's very important because it's part of our SEO. I don't want this sidebar right here, how we can remove that. And when we go to this toilet right here, in Adelaide River, Northern Territory, okay, that's when we need the name of the bathroom and then the state, and then the state name. So this should be in H1. There is the nearby public toilets. Okay, so there is 2 toilets here in the same location, more than one. It will display, which is what we need. So when we select that, again, it's displaying the nearby public toilets. So that will help the visitor to stay on our page. We just need navigation going back to this. And okay, I issue right here because what we want is here in our tattoo shop from this homepage, when we click New South Wales, so you can see these are the list of cities. And only when I click the city, then it will list the state. But here, what's happening, when we click a state from here, it's showing both and then the public toilets right here. So total of 4 toilets, it's displaying right here. We just want the city. And then when we click this, it goes to the client-ended app, changing the appearance of listings, which is I like. It's quite beautiful, right? But it didn't separate the city and the state. So here, when we go to Tasmania, we can see the cities here. So until this section will be fine, but only when we click this city, then it should show the toilet. So that's what we want. I'm just not sure how to prompt that. Maybe you guys know. Comment down below if you know the proper prompt, but we can fix this. In Gemini 2.5 Flash, I was able to do that. Up here, this should be more intelligent. But anyway, let's see. So I just mentioned to maybe create an archive child state template. So hopefully this will work. So it is saying that it's already have the taxonomy state child. This file exists but might not be properly set up. So now it's checking whether how it's gonna fix that. Let's wait and trust how client gonna fix that using Claude 3.7. Hopefully it won't change this layout right here because it's pretty nice. So lastly, we will ask to remove the sidebar. We don't need it and fix this entire heading right here. So I just want to check how much credits we still have. We don't want to run out of credit. So we still get 7.9. So from 11.8. So around $5 now. Task is completed. Hopefully we have the correct approach now. Let's go to the page and from homepage. Let's start from the homepage. So by the way, guys, I added the hero section, the hero image. So I just took it from ChatGPT. I requested to create a hero image for public bathroom in Australia. And that's what I saved. And here, find public toilet. Let's check Tasmania or South Australia. It's still showing this. And when we click this one is now correct. So see here, it's showing the city public toilets near Adelaide, South Australia. This is what we want. Wow, look at this. And when we click this, now there's a nearby toilet and it's almost there. I think we can live with this for now. We can fix this later. And because when we click this, it's beautiful. That's what we wanted. Now, before we deploy this to our actual domain, we will fix few things. We will remove this, the sidebar. We don't need it. On the home page, we will ask to fix this, the heading, and in the actual listing. So when we go to one of the listing, so here we will have this fixed. So let's ask that to do that now. All right, I found the issue. This is the culprit displaying the content right here. This shouldn't be displayed because the content is similar to what we have to attributes. So it's displaying two things, the attributes and the actual content. So it's fixing the attributes, but not the content. So we will remove this because we don't need it. And when we refresh this, that fixes the issue. There you go. Now we have two things left, the header, and we will remove the sidebar, and we're ready to deploy. So let's remove the sidebar. So just simply say you don't need it, don't render it in all templates. Alright, the sidebar has been removed, so we can actually fix later on if we want more appearance to be more beautiful. And here the homepage is looking okay. Now the final thing is to fix the heading and the footer to add a correct main logo. So earlier I rendered logo using ChatGPT, put it inside assets folder. So we're gonna run this, and I think we're pretty good to go. So we just copy this and paste it right there. Let's check if we still have enough balance. So we still get 5.9. We spent around $7 now. Alright, so I think it looks decent so far. We can configure that later. And the last thing that I want to do, so let me check first if we can add some menu pages. Let's about, alright, and then a sample text. Let's save this, and let's add this as part of the primary menu. So we're gonna create primary menu. So put it under primary create menu, and we will add the about. Save the menu. Let's go to the website. Alright, it's displaying, but it doesn't look nice, so we can configure that later. I want to add one more thing, which is this one. Add a random public toilets post, and display 25, add H3 heading that says popular public toilets around Australia. So we have another section right here. So let's do that. I'm gonna copy this, and we will deploy this to our server. So gonna run that. Alright, so while it's running, this is what we need to prepare in our actual server. So very simple step. So you just need to install the ACF plugin. So just install the same plugin we did in our local directory, in our local WordPress. So now please note that we are now working on the actual domain. We are preparing the advanced custom fields, all the plugins that we need. Anyway, we only need 2 of them. So activate this. Alright, advanced custom fields is now activated. Install the other plugin, which is the Ultimate CSV Uploader. This one right here. Install that. Activate this. And lastly, this is to upload our theme. We have to install WP File Manager, S1 WP File Manager, and install this first result. Activate that, and we're ready to go. So first, we're gonna upload the folder. Go to WP File Manager. So go inside the content and themes. So we will upload the custom theme that we created here in Climb in VS Code. So this is the public toilets Australia. So let's drag that, and I drag that right here. See, it's uploading the files. So every time we need changes, we will do the change in our local WordPress, and then make sure you upload the custom theme, or the files that you change. So let me have a look first if it added the one we requested here, the popular public toilets around Australia. Alright, there you go. Look at this. Really beautiful. Wow, let's check this one. Cool. Once we added all our public toilets data here, it will look more nicely because we had the complete data. Alright, we can add the more information because the address is right here. That's all you need for public toilet anyway. If you are creating another type of directory like the tattoo shop or auto repair shop, of course you will need the website. You will need the reviews. We haven't added the reviews actually, but it's there in our. So when you click this, you will see here in this ACF, we have the review rating here. So we can add that later. That's not a problem as long as the data are here. We also need the contact info. There's a phone here that we can add, and maps, we added that. Alright, so as long as the data already here, so later when you need to add more details in the actual public toilet directory, then you can do that. And also here we will be adding images for a specific state, just like what we did in one of my directory, which is the boat repair shops. So look at this, we have photos in each state, we can do that. So those are just cosmetic things that we can do in the later part, as long as we have the correct structure. Now that the custom theme is there, now in the settings, make sure the permalinks is set correctly, its post name, and then we have to activate the theme. This one, activate this. Now, this is the time you will upload the data here in your directory, this 7,000. So make sure if you are building a directory this size, your server can accommodate the size. So here we're gonna import that and do the mapping as we did earlier in our local, but this time that's permanent. Alright, so let's browse the real data. I canceled it. My suggestion is you split it if it's too big, because the data is 7,000 and it's 36 MB when you're uploading. So let me try splitting it, and I'll upload the first 300 right here. So you can do that because this is smaller chunks. So let me browse the first 300 just to see if the data here in the server is displaying correctly. So you can see it got uploaded pretty quickly. and we select the correct here. Oh, by the way, we forgot the step. Before that, we have to, here in the ACF, remember, open it in a new tab. If you are already here in this step, make sure this sync available. Make sure you import it. Don't forget that imported. Otherwise, you won't be seeing the CSV, the ACF fields that you created, and you won't be able to map them correctly. Now let's continue. And here, ACF is there. Then click this drag and drop as I mentioned earlier. So just map them correctly. So important thing is the content will be the attributes. And here, the featured image will be this main image. All right, don't forget that. Otherwise, your entries won't have the featured image. Now, you're going to have to map all this here in the ACF fields. Make sure you do this correctly. Otherwise, your structure will get messed up. All right, and then here in the step of terms and taxonomy, make sure you remember what I showed you to structure it correctly. First, drag the state, which is the region right here, the address info region, and then comma. Again, drag the region and hyphen, then the arrow to the right, and then drag the city. So in this way, it will structure the state correctly, the taxonomy. I'm going to show you later. So click on continue. And again, download this one, download content external images. Guys, I'm sorry, in the server, in your actual domain, you should also be creating the post types and the custom taxonomies. I'm sorry, forgot that. We should be doing that before the upload. So let me just do that quickly. The one that I showed you earlier. Oh, you don't actually need it because in our custom field, in our custom themes, we already configured it. So that's fine. That's why it created this. So we're pretty good to go in this one. So download post content external images. Make sure you tick that and let's import this. So the first 299, we're just trying to see whether our data will be correct. Otherwise, you can import everything. All right. So here, I'm just trying to split it by 300. So as you can see, I cut the first 300 right here, the first 300 rows, and then the next one. And maybe I'll just upload this fully once I see that the data are correct. So while this is uploading, you can actually go to the page, but make sure you open it in a new tab so this won't get canceled. So visit site, open it in a new tab. Guys, so look at that. This is the one we have in our local. Wow, look at this. So it started to upload the directory. So we have all the states. So let's go to, let's say, Victoria. So these are all the cities in Victoria. And this is our, again, another issue. It's this thing, all the list of public toilets. I'm not sure if this is going to be good in SEO, but look at that. It created the pagination. So I think this is fine. We can keep it that way. And let's check one of the toilet here in the North Coast, Victoria. We have this. Look at this, displaying the ratings. Really nice. Click this and we have to adjust this image. It's too large, but this one is closed now. And we also need to have a navigation. All right, we can request that in time, but let me just fix the site name. Go to settings and then general here. This is the keyword that we are trying to rank, and then the tagline. So just the tagline. So find public toilets near you when in Australia. So that's our tagline. And make sure we select the same favicon. All right, there you go. That's how it looks. And all the settings are correct. Save this. And let's check the upload. Still going and get visit the site. All right, we have the name of the site right here. We have the favicon. We have the browse by state. It goes to the state. We have 81 toilets now uploaded in Victoria. We can check that. So these are all the cities. So public toilets is in Victoria, which is good. All right, now let's check one of the city. All right, so there's two. There you go. There's a pick. So what's missing here is the navigation. So here you can find by city. So let's go to Melbourne and find toilets. All right, so once we have all the data right here and it start getting indexed on Google, we will just wait for Google to index the listings and we're good to go. We're in the waiting game to receive traffic. I think that's about it, guys. So we will just do some more improvements, correct navigation. When we go here, there should be a way to go back to the homepage. And when you go to one of the city, there should be a back link to go to the previous state where we are. So we will do that in our local WordPress and re-upload. I think that's about it, guys. So I hope I covered everything that you need to ship your first directory. So again, a usual thing, grab your data from GFast Scraper. All right, whatever niche you select, whatever category you select, and then I will be providing this template here that you will be able to prompt in your client so that you can create the same custom themes based on the directory that you're creating. So this is just your guide. As I showed you, we've got lots of issues that we need to fix, but those are just minor ones. You just need to prompt whatever you need to fix and client will fix that for you. I think this video is getting too long and I hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you in the next one.